Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go to PayPal at Deem by any means. There go to Cash App, $ Deem by any means. I want to say this, y'all. Please don't eavesdrop. If you ain't gonna donate to the channel, can you please at least hit the like button for your boy? I wanted to say, man, go subscribe to my man Dub's Right Side channel, Upper Echelon, um, 2 Cents Boxing for 9, Knockout Boxing, Manager Marty, Just Do Boxing, H Money Boxing. Go subscribe to all the fellas and gals. You know what I mean? People that I really respect out here. And anybody I forgot on my next video, I'll put you up there also. So I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. And y'all know when I say that, I'm gonna start cooking on something. And as a PSA announcement, boxers, if you don't add this your skit to your skill box, you will get exposed. The older you get, or the better the competition get. Let's talk about it, y'all. I think what we saw from Devin Haney, what we saw from Deontay Wilder, and what we saw from Earl Spence is you can't rely on doing the same things your whole career, especially in boxing, because boxing is a physical sport. Boxing is more mental than it ever is physical, even though it's super physical, the most physical sport out there. I don't care what they say about football. Football players not punching each other in the face. Um, we just saw with Deontay Wilder, man, when you don't add to your boxing game, when you don't add things that you are deficient at, it will get exposed the older you get or the better the competition happens. Because the two things happen. You either won't be able to get off what you normally do against better competition, or your athleticism is diminished to where as though you can't get it off at the same rate that you used to. Boxing is a sport where you have to constantly constantly evolving, and it's what separate all the Sugar Rays, the Sugar Ray Robinson, the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Terrence Crawfords, and the Gervonta Davises, and that's just me using these four guys as an example, and I'm gonna tell you why I use those guys as an example. Terrence Crawford can beat you at any style of fighting. If you want to brawl, we have seen Terrence Crawford brawl and get people out of there. If you want to go on the back foot, we have seen Terrence Crawford badly hurt people and get them out of there on the back foot. Walking you down and hunting you down. We have seen Terrence Crawford be on the front foot and go on an attack mode. Side to side lateral movement. We have seen Terrence Crawford, like he did against the ropes against Errol Spence, I believe it was that second or third knockdown. Moving side to side, setting up punches and getting you out there, getting you out of there. We also saw at times in that Errol Spence fight that Terrence Crawford was the better inside fighter, which that also matters too. Which all that means is why Terrence Crawford is so deadly is because he can beat you in different styles of fighting. He don't have to just stay on his back foot the whole time to beat you. He don't have to just stay on his front foot the whole time to beat you. He don't have to just not be active and not engage that much to beat you. Whatever way you want to make this fight happen and he sees an adjustment or a weakness against you, he takes advantage of that. And that's why he's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. We got Gervonta Davis on the other end. Gervonta Davis is probably the only fighter that we have currently. Maybe him and Bud, but even Bud hasn't done it the way Gervonta has, where we have seen this man knock people out moving side to side. We have seen Gervonta Davis knock people out on his back foot. We have seen Gervonta Davis knock people out going forward. We have seen Gervonta Davis knock people out being very active. We have seen Gervonta Davis knock people out not being that active. We have seen Gervonta Davis knock people out setting up his jab. We have also seen Gervonta Davis knock people out being a brawler and just going for the gusto. And you need those different types of things because that means that no matter what style you are against, you have something to combat that. Now, these are two of the best fighters that I think shows an example of what I'm talking about. Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson. Now, not only did they have the athleticism, the power, the speed, the skills, the IQ, they also had the footwork and the physical attributes, length, and things like that that would help them, would aid them in them adjusting to different styles. Sugar Ray Robinson could walk you down and knock you out. Sugar Ray Robinson could be on his back foot. Sugar Ray Robinson could box you. Sugar Ray Robinson can brawl you. Sugar Ray Robinson could fight you on the inside if he chose to. It's what made him so dangerous that no matter whatever you tried to bring to the table, he had something to combat that. Sugar Ray Leonard beat all of them. Roberto Duran, Hagler, Hearns, he beat them all. Okay? And the reason why he was able to do that, because no matter what style they implemented, he had something to combat that. Against Roberto Duran, I'm gonna be very aggressive. Against Hagler, I'm a rope a doping to a less extent and make him fight my game, make it look like I'm beating him. Against Hearns, I'm gonna put a little bit of everything into this fight to show that he's just not a better fighter than me. You have to, and the only way that all of these fighters that I'm mentioning got to that level is because they added things to their boxing game that they weren't always good at. Gervontadavis used to just be balls to the wall. Now he used to be one of the most active fighters. Now he's one of the most least active fighters, and I mean inside of the ring. That's a major adjustment to go from one extreme to the next, but to get the same result. We have seen it. We have seen Gervontadavis knock you out, going to the top, going to the body. Either way you want it, you know at any point in time that man can deliver a knockout. We have seen Terence Crawford do the same exact things, maybe with more accumulation of punches, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be the same results with you going out on your feet. And it's the reason why these guys are held in such regard. You have to constantly add to your game. Now, let's talk about fighters. Deontay Wilder, Devin Haney, for the be example, Errol Spence right now, one of my favorite fighters. I'm not too fond of the other two guys, but Earl is my guy. We saw against Terence Crawford that Errol Spence had no other way to fight Terence Crawford but the one way he was used to fighting. And Terence Crawford used his counter punching and his boxing skills to combat all of that. And then at certain times where he's seen he was hurt, he learned to get on his grind and go ahead and bring the fight to Earl. Earl had only one way to beat Terence Crawford, and that was to come forward, bring the fight to Terence Crawford. And when that doesn't work, he doesn't have a second go-to plan. He doesn't have a B, a C, a D game plan. That's why he would never be able to beat somebody like Terence Crawford, who does have a B, C, D game plan for you. Terence Crawford admitted that he wasn't sure if he was going to just stay southpaw or switch up during the fights. He just decided to stay southpaw the whole time. That means that they had a bunch of different, let Terence Crawford tell it, they had a bunch of different game plans to go in there and fight Errol Spence Jr. But Errol Spence only had one game plan, and you see why it worked. You got to constantly get better at the things you're not good at. Deontay Wilder does not look no different now than he did 10 years ago. Y'all can sit up there and try to lie to me and act like he's this amazing fighter all of a sudden, and he added boxing skills, but he didn't. And you can't convince me that somebody can't add to their game if they're seriously trying to hole in on their craft. You can make somebody else believe that if basketball players can do it with shooting a basketball, with having another object in their hand, a boxer can do it when all he needs to do is let his brain connect to his fists and his feet. It's much harder to get skilled at basketball, and I mean working. It's probably harder being a boxer, but I'm talking about working on your skills. It's much more harder to learn how to consistently shoot a jump shot than learn how to consistently put a jab out there. I've done both, so you can't tell me one that you can't even have this argument with me because I've done both. Now, boxing is the hardest sport because it's more physical. It puts actual damage on your body that basketball don't. But we talking about getting better at the fundamentals of the sport. It's much easier to learn how to throw uppercuts to the body and learn how to move your feet from side to side and use your footwork than it ever is trying to get better at working on your dribbling. When you got a tennis ball in one hand and got to go through cones and got a basketball in the other, it is much harder to get better at basketball skills consistently. But people do it every day, all the time in the NBA. It's how bad do you want it? Michael Jordan couldn't always shoot. By the end of his career, the best shot that he had was a jump shot, his fadeaway jumper. You got to constantly add to your boxing skills, and when you don't, it will get exposed. And you're not being a real fan of boxing if you just sit up there and tell fighters just because you like them that they don't have nothing that they need to get better at when it comes to boxing. You should be constantly trying to get better at your deficiencies while making sure that you sharp at what you are good at. You need to be implementing things. Okay, just in case what I'm good at doesn't work, what do I go to after that? And if you don't have no plan B in boxing, eventually that will get exposed. It will, y'all. And we've seen it time and time again. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. We've seen it time and time again, y'all. So it just shows you that 9 times out of 10, the more versatile boxer is going to win. Period. The guy that got more tools in the toolbox is going to win. And it's not that a lot of other fighters can't do it. I just don't think they team or people that they got around them focus enough on it. So y'all know what it is, man. Beam by any means. Hit that Cash App, hit that like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all already know what it is, y'all.